Hello, this is John, host of Mgtow is Freedom. I was having a thought yesterday, and that occurs quite often, about women. And what the fuck is their problem? They are so self-contradictory, I don't know how they can make it through a day without killing themselves. First off, before we get into that, I want to thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for commenting, for watching the videos and lending your thoughts to the information. I think that what we're doing together is waking not only ourselves up, but putting ourselves in a position to better discuss and describe and counter the claims made by feminism, which has destroyed the feminine human creature, what we call women. It's totally fucking them up. So I started this video talking about, women contradicting themselves. And I'm going to give an example of that, and then we'll get back to makeup and looks and everything later. But if you've ever noticed the contradictory thinking of women, they, as women, look up to beautiful women. They want to aspire to be like them. Their hair, their eyebrows, their lips, their overall good appearance. But the first thing you'll catch them doing is tearing each other down like a fucking bunch of cats, shitting on each other and fighting and spitting. The first chance they get, the first sign of weakness, and this is a clue for us men, the first sign of weakness a beautiful woman has, every other woman will claw her to fucking pieces. Now, aren't we supposed to appreciate beauty, women? Then why do you tear it the fuck down and call a good-looking woman a skinny bitch and a whore and every other dirty name the moment she appears to be weak? So let's look into women's contradictory natures just a little bit. We'll leave makeup and hair and all that shit alone for later. They, women, under feminist ideology's influence, are near suicidal on an intellectual level. They can't even save themselves. They want, this cracks me up. They want to sound intelligent. But the moment they start spouting feminist crap, they sound completely unintelligent. And we'll just go right back to this real quick. They'll say that they want to be beautiful and they want you to recognize their beauty. And then in the next breath, they'll talk about how they shouldn't be looked at. They shouldn't be, what do they call that? Objectified, right? They shouldn't be objectified, but they want to be beautiful. But they shouldn't be objectified. But they need to look beautiful and they need you to recognize it. But don't fucking objectify them. Stupid cunts. So, in their attempt, the feminists to get their way, to get their ideology, to get their dogma and their doctrine to be the predominant one that our culture and our society has, they have to attack the norm, right? They have to do it. They have to attack manhood. They have to attack everything else and bring it down to elevate themselves. What I've got to say right now is that any ideology that has to attack and destroy the other one in order to win is a false ideology. Because a true, proper, moral, good, right, ideology can stand on its own, and all others will just melt away. The essence of philosophy and a philosophical victory is to be so correct, so abundantly correct, that any argument against it fails on its face. And that is what feminism does. It fails on its face. Because it tries placing the woman at the top while tearing the woman down on appearance. So any woman that wants to be beautiful is attacked. Attacked. And if she's ugly, she's also attacked. They contradict themselves. They claim, right, that they are for equal rights, right? So any woman supporting a man is going to be attacked by feminism. At the same time, in most cases, any woman who is apparently attacking men is making feminism look bad, right? Because they should be able to stand on their own 2 feet. They don't need a man, so there's no reason to attack men. So they again contradict each other. A house divided falls, but feminism isn't falling. Not the way we would like it. So it's being artificially propelled, artificially held up. One of the other, contradictory notions of it is that it has real legs, it has roots, right? Feminism is real. It should matter. Nature supports it, in other words. But it doesn't, so it contradicts itself by using judgmental behavior on its adherents, on women. That uses fear and shame and guilt on women, and now men as well. It attacks everything. It cannot live on its own. It's just so contradictory. Every time, pull up any one of its planks, as it were, from its manifesto, and look at how it contradicts itself. Okay? And the biggest one is this scream for equality. Feminism demands equality. It states that women have equality to men, that there are equal, and that we should recognize it. So they demand it, and then they use the law to enforce it. But they go well beyond that. They still want special privilege. They want old-fashioned special privileges, like man pays for the meal, man pays for the house. And then they demand special privilege, which is when a relationship is over, men must pay even more. They must be punished. Right? Or it's not punished. They have a right to that man's stuff. 1 second. So it contradicts itself. It claims equality, level playing field, but wants special old-fashioned privilege and new privileges. So it doesn't want just equality. It wants old privileges, new privileges. It wants supremacy. It wants dominance. That is not equality. So again, feminism contradicts itself. They claim, the feminists do, that women are superior in intellect, that they're smarter than men, that they have more brains, that they're intellectually superior, that the thinking machine between their ears is superior. If that was the case, where have you fucking ladies been for 10,000 plus years? Where have you been? I'm waiting. Now, in lieu of waiting the rest of my fucking life for a good answer, I'm just going to continue. Where have they been? They have been in the cave. They have been in the hut. They have been in the house, hiding behind a fucking man's coattails. Living at men's hard labor. I'm not saying women don't labor. I'm saying they hide and are supported by men's hard labor. That's where they've been for 10,000 plus years. Men fighting fucking bears, men fighting each other, men battling nature to conquer it in order to produce food, shelter, clothing, and a means to protect himself, which includes the creation of governments. That is institutionalized civilization. Where have women been in all of that? Tell you where they've been. They wait their opportunity to manipulate men. They've done it for millennia. They find a man who has a cave, who has a hut, who has a name, who has an income, and they attach themselves to him. And in this regard, they are parasitical. Except this parasite, the woman, provides a service. Sex. Reproduction. They actually provide benefits or services. Make me a sandwich, right? Clean the house, right? So they provide, but they are still parasitical. That is to say that a man can survive without a woman, but women cannot survive without men. fact of nature. Why men need women is they cannot procreate without them. So men have to have women. So how do you guarantee that your species survives? By procreating with women. In order to do that, you have to take care of one. It's a symbiotic relationship when it is purely natural. Okay, we now live in an unnatural environment. And the way where I'm going with that is because of the Industrial Revolution. Because of the Industrial Revolution and the intellectual revolution that has followed in its tracks, there is enough wealth, that is additional security, wealth now, that women have been able to, women, by women I mean feminists, have been able to start the coup d'etat, the quest for power or control of the power is now in their hands, because no longer do they have to rely on men in the traditional way. They need machinery, they need the wealth created by an industrial economy to produce the mountains of wealth, whereby they can extract a lot of it from others and then use it to provide for themselves. They called it a sharing of power. They call it equality. What it is meant for them is for them to get us as men to surrender to women's power. That is feminist power. All along the way, they must contradict themselves. They have to have it both ways, in other words. That is the only way women can do what they're doing. That is to claim that they're just women, and to claim that we're women. And, oh, but we're just women, we need special privilege. But we're women, we are superior, we must have superior rights and privileges. But all the while claiming equality. So I hope this video has presented to you the need for women, for feminism. In order for it to succeed, it has to be allowed to be contradictory to itself. Because it itself is contradictory to nature. That is, you take away all of the Industrial Revolution right now. Take it away. Food, shelter, clothing, transportation, government. Take it all away right now. Go back to fucking caveman times in 5 fucking seconds. And see who rules the fucking roost. It won't be women, that's for goddamn sure. It will be men. Because of our intelligence, because of our strength, because of our wills, because of testosterone, because of our testicles, because we have cocks. The only thing allowing women to be feminists is our industrialized economy, our industrialized world. And if that crumbles, shit hits the fan, they can kiss it goodbye. They're going to find themselves in a world of fucking hurt. Not only physically, they're going to be in a world of hurt because of their psychological nature. Because they are so fucking contradictory. Today alone, they are fucked in the head. They can't get it straight. Because they argue both sides of everything. And they demand obedience from men. Imagine a world, a shit hits the fan world. The apocalypse. Where they've got nothing now. They've got no power. They've got no electricity. They've got